What's wrong with the Red Sox right now?
In the beginning, when they got off to that horrid April, you could truthfully say they checked every negative box possible. They didn't hit well, they didn't pitch well, they didn't field well, they didn't run their bases well, they did nothing well. And then it settled into complaints about the bullpen. And the bullpen was never addressed at the trading deadline by Dave Dombrowski. He's going to have to answer to that eventually, for sure, from his owner, I would think. And then, as you well know, during the 8-game losing streak we just came out of, the starting pitching was horrendous. These are high-paid players. You're talking about a guy who makes $30 million, David Price, a guy who just got a 4-year extension for over $30 million a year in Chris Sale, a former Cy Young Award winner who gets in the $20 million range, Rick Porcello. And the ERA of the starting pitchers during the 8-game losing streak was 10. You can't win that way. This team has hit well enough to be in the wild card race or even to be threatening the Yankees. It's the pitching more than anything else. The hitting finally came around. We know that the Bogarts is having a great year. We know Devers is an amazingly fine. We appreciate him. Even though Mookie's having a quote-unquote off year, he's scored 10 more runs than anybody in baseball. He's now got 102 runs scored. He may have the second highest runs total in the history of the team, second only to Ted Williams, by the 4th time the season's over. They score enough runs. There's a number out there, I don't know exactly what it is, but their record when they score 5 runs is like a 75% winning percentage, and they need to score 5 runs to win way too often. One other thing, Alex Cora took a very gentle approach to spring training. He's thinking about October, didn't want to wear the pitchers out. There was a lot of questions about the workload that players had, pitchers and batters, during spring training. And when they got off to that bad start, people said, see, we told you you should have gone about it a different way. We'll see at the end of the year if he'll fess up to this. He still hasn't really been willing to acknowledge that maybe he did not handle spring training very well.
Jackie, I tuned in a couple of times over the course of the weekend just to see what was going on in the Red Sox-Yankee game, but there was a time in recent history where you would plan your weekend around the Red Sox and the Yankees. Have the Red Sox lost some of their magic? Has baseball lost some of its magic?
I don't think so. I still think the Red Sox-Yankees it's a point mentality.
Plan your weekend around?
It is.
Yeah.
I think, and I mean, baseball's a long season, so that's part of the reason, but I believe the postseason record of New York versus Boston is 12-11. The Yankees have won one more game, just to give you an idea. Now, we all know it all changed in 2004, and because up until then, I mean, my dad's from New York City, born and raised. I was born in New York City. Don't tell anybody. It's my little secret. I was born in Manhasset, and so every year when I was a kid, my dad and I would bet on all the games, you know, the New York versus Boston thing. And I mean, I lost all my allowance every year up until and I remember in 2003, Bob, you were sitting next to me. We were at Yankee Stadium, and they're going to win. And I called my dad, and I said, Dad, you're going to owe me $5 for the first time in my life. We bet $5 on the playoffs. I said, Dad, he said, you silly girl, the game isn't over. And of course, that's when Grady Little left in. Yeah, we all know what happened. I don't need to drag you through that mud again. And so I sent my dad $5 in quarters because it's just so painful.